just like usual, these best and worst of beauty videos are long enough on their own, so I'm gonna keep the chit chat real short here. My pyramid was very hard for me to put together this month. I've got a lot of really good products, like excellent products, and then a lot of good products that like I like. They're not the best, but like they all kind of fell into the same category. If you're new to my channel here, I know some people are kind of confused about my pyramid. I started doing this, what, like almost 4 years ago now? Yikes. When I was starting to watch Dance Moms, I was inspired by Abby's pyramid. I know, it's kind of sick, right? But basically I put the worst product of the month at the very bottom of the pyramid, and then we climb our way up to the very top of the pyramid to the best products. So the stuff on the very bottom isn't necessarily bad stuff, it's just less good than the stuff that's at the top. So hopefully that explains things for you, and yeah, we can just jump into it here. So let's sing the song together and we can dive right in. It's the best and worst of beauty, whether good or bad, here's the down and dirty. So first off, on the very bottom of the pyramid here, like I said, this is not a bad product. None of these products are bad this month anyways. This just kind of disappointed me, and I know so many, I shouldn't say so many, but I do know there are cheaper options out there on the market. We've got this Tarte Clay Pot Amazonian Clay Waterproof Liner in the shade Bronze. This is brown! This isn't bronze at all. Like, there's no sort of a copper shift to it, no sort of a gold, nothing. It's just straight up like a flat brown color, which like, it's fine. But when I buy something that's called bronze, I expect it to be bronze. You know what I mean? Overall though, it's a good liner. It's a bit slippery for my tastes. It's a bit thinner than other consistencies that I like, but it does go on very smooth. It's very easy to apply. It lasts pretty much all freaking day. From the minute I put this on in the morning to like 14 hours later when I take it off at night, it still looks almost perfect. It's faded just the tiniest bit. The L'Oreal gel liner that comes in like this exact same kind of pot works just as well, if not better. It's a bit thicker of a formula, which I personally like. So that's the reason why this is on the very bottom. Not a bad product. I just know that there's just as good, if not better, and actual bronze colors out there on the market. Maybe that's just me being a little bitter, but when I want bronze, not brown. Tarte, let's get that straight. Next up here on the bottom of the pyramid, I actually have a product that one of you sent my way, Sahaja, hello. Truth be told, for like the first 2 weeks that I had this, I just kept it on my bedside table, and I would like swatch it at night on my hand and just like look at it before bed and be like, ooh, look how pretty. Like, is that really sad? This is the Smashbox Fusion Soft Lights Powder, and this is in the shade Baked Starburst. So it's got 4 different colors in here, I believe, if I'm seeing things correctly, and I do like this. It's not the best highlighter I've ever used, but I like this. This is good for the people that don't care about strobing and all that stuff, you know? You want a soft, gentle highlight, and it's kind of like that diffused glow, so it looks very natural. It's just a very pretty gold sparkle, I guess, and there's no glitter, but it does have sparkle to it, if that makes sense. It lasts a good amount of time. I wouldn't say it lasts all day, but it does last a good amount of time, and I'm so appreciative that you sent this my way, Sahaja. It's a good product, not the best, but it's still a good one. And next up on the bottom of my pyramid here, it's another gift. This was actually for Christmas. My dad got this for me. This is a NARS blush. Ooh! This is in the shade Luster, and I had been lusting after this for quite a while now. It's not my perfect shade of blush. Like, this can look a bit orange and sunburn on me, but I still like it, you know? And it really does pair really nicely with the Smashbox highlighter. It's basically like a burnt apricot with a bit of gold shift in it, I guess. I shouldn't even say a bit. It's very much like a gold shimmer in there. It just looks very glowy, and especially now that the sun is out, you know, that's kind of appropriate and everything, and I just have really been liking it. This one is a bit more powdery, I feel like, than some other NARS blushes. I just feel like I get a bit more powder kickback on this one, but it's really not that big of a deal. It's still super soft and silky and pigmented, and it looks great on the cheeks, and it lasts lasts pretty much all freaking day. I would say NARS blushes last on me around 8 to 10 hours. And overall, I've just been loving Luster this month. So thank you, Dad, for not for sending that my way, but for gifting that to me for Christmas. I really appreciate it, and I have been loving using it this month. And then the last thing here on the bottom of my pyramid, it is a perfume, and I haven't put this on yet today. It's so good though. It's so good. This is the Erin, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Mediterranean Honeysuckle Eau de Parfum spray. It is spring in a bottle. I mean, it is such a gorgeous honeysuckle scent, and it is so pure and not synthetic in the slightest. It is so delicious, and it's got such a fresh smell to it. So it's got the honeysuckle, but then it's also got a very like fresh, just out of the shower soap smell, kind of. Not like soap, but like a bit of soap. And just the easiest bit of like a sparkling champagne in there as well to like give it a bit of like kick to it, so it's not powdery or anything. It really does smell like you're sticking your face into a honeysuckle bush. Just, oh, it's so good. And the longevity is pretty good on it too. I would say like around 6 hours, and then it's still there, but it's a bit faint at that point. So, you know, you may want to reapply, maybe you don't, you know, it's all up to you. But yeah, I really have been enjoying this. You can see I've used about half of it now, and it's just, So moving on up to the second tier of the pyramid, I have got a product that was sent to me by Octoly. One thing that I recently applied for was these Pure Minerals Eye Polish Base and Top Coats. The three that I have been using the most have been these ones. So we have got Cashmere, which is a really nice champagne gold color. And then we have got Satin, which is a great pinky rose champagne color. And then I have also got Silk, which is a beautiful bronzy copper shade. All three of these are great bases. They do claim to be crease proof, but unfortunately on me, they do crease whether I wear them alone, whether I wear them with an eyeshadow on top. I have to use an eyeshadow primer underneath these, otherwise they're just going to be a creasy mess. Unfortunately as well, the formula doesn't seem quite consistent on these. Some of them, like Cashmere, which is what I used today, it's a bit thicker of a formula, but then there's other ones like Satin, and this one is a really like wet and watery formula, and Silk is kind of somewhere right in the middle, but it's a bit more on the watery side as well. But like I said, you can build these up definitely, but I would say if you get them, definitely give them a good shaking just because they are so watery. It's hard for me to say whether these are worth the splurge because I do believe these are like $26-ish a piece. I would say they are slightly better than Maybelline Color Tattoos, but not like $20 extra more than Maybelline Color Tattoos. But I know if you are like strictly cruelty free and everything, these might be a good option for something that is like a color tattoo, but you know, it's not by Maybelline. It's kind of a toss-up, but I do like them. They look great underneath eyeshadow or even on their own. Like I said, they will last if I put an eyeshadow primer underneath them. They're just not good on their own for me. And next up here, if you watched my last empties video, you would have heard me talk about this, but this is the NYX Eyebrow Shaper. It is a wax pencil for your eyebrows, or I don't know what else you would use this for, but I got this because my Anastasia Beverly Hills wax pencil ran out recently, and I loved that stuff, but it's really expensive, and so I was like, well, there are drugstore dupes now, like maybe I should try one of those out, you know, it'll be cheaper, etc, etc. I do like this. It does do a good job as a wax on my brows. I just think the Anastasia one is a little bit better, you know? Like, yes, it's pricier, but it also performs just the littlest bit better, like maybe 5 to 10% better. Maybe a little more than that. That one is just a bit more thick and waxy, I guess, like maybe more like a pomade almost. And this is a bit more thin and slick, but like it's not like a huge difference between the formulas. It's just that slight difference in the waxes, if you know what I mean. It's almost like the difference between a chapstick formula and then like a Burt's Bees formula. Like they're just ever so slightly different. They're both lip balms, but they're a little different, you know? So this works very well in my brows. Like, it does a great job keeping things in place. I don't know that I would ever buy the Anastasia one again, because even though I love it, like, do I really need to spend twice the money just to get a pencil that, like, I don't know. I don't know. But this one's good. You know, it's a good drugstore alternative. I will have no problem using this up. It will get used. It's enjoyed, and I would highly recommend it if you are looking for an eyebrow wax. So next up on my pyramid here is a product that again was sent to me as a gift by one of you. Thank you so much, Amanda. I appreciate it. Just, you guys are so nice to me and so generous, and I'll never be able to vocalize enough how much I appreciate it. So thank you all. But Amanda, you sent me the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea eyeshadow palette. This is such a pretty little sucker. It really is. And it's so strange because the shadows are not the best quality. They're really not, but I've been loving using them this month. I don't know if it's just because, Amanda, you sent this to me and like it was such a sweet and generous gift. Like, I don't know if there's something about that just makes my heart warm every time I go to put these on, and so that's why I'm giving it a bit more favorable of a review than I might have if I bought it on my own. But at the same time, while the shadows aren't like the best formula in my opinion, they're still good and I still like them for what they are. These shadows are quite sheer, especially compared to a lot of other Tarte shadows that I've used in the past, and they are a bit powdery slash crumbly, but they're really beautiful on the eyes, and I get so many compliments from you guys when I've been wearing this past month in my videos. Like, you can just create such a beautiful, neutral, but still lovely eye look, I think. I don't know that I can say that I necessarily recommend this palette, but I do think it's a nice palette, and I don't think if like you and I were out shopping and you were like, oh, I want to get that palette, I'm gonna go grab it at Sephora, blah, 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 I wouldn't be like, no, don't waste your money, oh my god. I'd be like, cool, you like it too? Like, awesome, I've been using it a ton this month, you know? Amanda, thank you once again. I've been loving this. I love Tarte as a brand overall, and I mean, look at that. That is a beautiful little package there now, isn't it? Moving on up to the second to the top tier of the pyramid here, I have got a foundation that I am wearing today and that I did a YouTube made me buy it on. Any guesses? Any guesses? Boo-boo-boo-boo. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. I have mine in the shade number 2, Fair. This is a really nice foundation. It's expensive. Yes, but you get this pretty bottle. It's a very confusing bottle. It looks like you twist this off because like the cap doesn't just pull off easily. Like, I think that's why so many people are confused, myself included, but once you do pull it off, it's got a very nice little pump here. The pump actually does disperse the proper amount of product, I would say, for your full face, and it's also a controllable pump, so it's not like you get one option of how much is going to come out and that's it, kind of defeating the purpose of a freaking pump. Am I right? Overall, I just think it's a beautiful foundation. It's a bit thick in that it's very moisturizing, but once you put it on, I like to put this on first with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush and just kind of get it smeared all over my face, and then I go in with my Real Techniques blending sponge and I blend it all out to get the streaks to go away. Once you have it blended in and everything, it's not a full coverage foundation. I don't even know that I would say it's a medium coverage foundation. I would say it's a light to medium coverage, but it's a very natural finish. So like, it's not going to completely cover up imperfections like redness and freckles and stuff, but I do think you can build it up to fade them, you know? So it might peek through a little bit, but it's not as blatant as your naked skin. It wears very, very well on me throughout the day, like beautifully. It does get a bit greasy because I do have very oily skin, but that being said, I just use a blotting paper like normal and it's totally fine. It doesn't come off with the blotting paper. It doesn't separate all weird. The only reason why there's, spoiler alert, another foundation that is above this is because we're going into summer here and this is not sweat proof. It doesn't like completely melt off with your sweat, but it does kind of start to dissipate a bit, you know, especially if you like wipe your head or like blot your head, you know, with your hand or whatever. You know, on days like this where I know I'm gonna have a fan on my face and I'm gonna be in the air conditioning, it's totally fine, and this will be great in the fall, winter, etc. But I do know moving into summer here, this is not gonna be my go-to foundation because it doesn't stand up against sweat and I'm very sweaty. But other than that, beautiful, beautiful foundation. It does a great job and I really, really am happy with it. And now, the second to the top product of my pyramid this month. This could absolutely be like a first top of the line, top of the pyramid product, but the only reason there's one thing above this is because the thing that's above this, I've never had something do what that thing above this does. So this product is fantastic and I feel so guilty because one of you was generous enough to send this to me. This was like, if not one of the first things sent to my P.O. box, it was the first thing I opened from my P.O. box. I packed all of you guys' cards and letters and stuff in a box that I did not label with that stuff. And I hate myself for it because now I can't thank you because I don't know which box it's in storage. I feel terrible because this was such a generous gift, but I hope you know from the bottom of my heart, like I so appreciate this. When I opened it, I cried. Every time I go to use this, I just like, my heart bubbles up and I'm just like, you guys are too nice to me. So I'm so sorry that I cannot say your name here, but please do know that I appreciate you. Rant about my own stupidity aside, this is the Guerlain Meteorites Perils Light-Diffusing Perfecting Primer. Oh, is this ever perfecting, you guys. I love it. Like, my voice is starting to get a little hoarse here. I love this so much. I did a first impression on this a long time ago. This and anything else I've done first impressions on or whatever, I will absolutely have pertinent links down below for you guys so you can check them out if you are interested. But I tried this, I think 3 Christmases ago. My mom had bought me a Guerlain like sampler kit. It came with a mini of this foundation primer. Oh. I mean, I was intrigued just because it was Guerlain and it's beautiful. Like, I don't understand the science behind this. Like, it's a clear base gel liquid thing and then it's got these beautiful pink pearl balls that float around in it, and when you squirt it out, it is the most beautiful galaxy shimmer delight looking concoction, and then you rub it under your skin and it perfects your foundation so much. Like, I feel like there are so many primers on the market nowadays where it's like, you put them on and like, yeah, they kind of help the longevity of your foundation, but like, did they really do much for your skin? This does something for your skin and your ego. Like, it makes you feel so fancy and so pretty. It just adds a glow to your face and makes your foundation go on so smooth on top of it. It's not a silicone type primer at all, so it is one that just sinks into your skin. It makes your skin feel like fresh and ready. This really makes a difference in the longevity of my foundation, absolutely hands down. I would say it extends the wear at least 2, 3, 4 hours more than a foundation would on its own. Plus, it just like perfects my skin, so it makes the foundation go on smoother and everything. It is probably like the only fragrance thing I feel comfortable putting on my face because for whatever reason, this stuff does not break me out. I have tried a Guerlain like BB cream type foundation tinted moisturizer thing before, and that ended up breaking me out, so I don't know what the difference is because it's the same company. I'm pretty sure it's the same scent that they put in everything, but the fragrance in this is really beautiful. It's a very delicate violet scent and it dissipates. Like, once you rub it in, you can't smell it at all. So I think this one might be like more lightly fragranced maybe than that BB cream that I tried out from them. I guess like just be aware if you are very sensitive to fragrance and everything. This is fragranced, but I don't find it to be an off-putting fragrance. I think it's very nice. Like I said, it's very delicate and very expensive smelling. So overall, this primer is fantastic. Holy grail, #1, top of the line, if you ask me. I just love it, and I am so thankful to the viewer that sent this my way. And last but not least here, we've got the very top of the pyramid here. What could it be? Da da da. I did a first impression on this. Any guesses? Any guesses? La la la. Here you go. I'm so glad this actually came in the mail because I was gonna have to show you guys the little sample container that I got from Sephora that's completely empty and scraped out and sad now. I don't think I have ever used all of the foundation in one of those little Sephora sample containers. I've never liked any of them enough, I don't feel like, to use it more than the once, maybe twice times. I used all of that, and that was a good like 5 to 6 days worth of it. And that was a sign that I needed to buy the actual bottle of this foundation. This is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation Plus Concealer. I got mine in the shade 0.5 Breeze. It's really nothing super fancy looking or anything, just like a normal cylindrical bottle here, and it is glass, but the one thing that is unique about it, I haven't opened mine yet, but how many foundations do you know come with this? This is a monster doe foot applicator. I don't know that that's gonna like make the application any better or anything, but the foundation is what matters, and this foundation is fantastic. This is the only foundation that I have ever used that is completely 100% for me sweat proof. Sweat proof. Shut up. Are you kidding me? I'll take 20. I'm such a sweaty person, and especially now that we're going into the summer here, that's always a huge problem for me. It's so hard wearing foundation because I get so oily and so sweaty and it just like smudges off my face, whatever. This foundation does not budge. I still end up looking oily and everything throughout the day, but you know, I use a blotting paper, that's nothing new for me. But the fact that I can sweat my absolute butt off like I did, here's a little story for you. I went to the dentist this past week here and their air conditioning was broken. And it was like 85, almost 90 degrees that day. It was hot and it hadn't rained in at least a week here, and so it was humid. I was disgusting. Like, it looked nearly like I had just taken a shower when I got done at the dentist. Like, really disgusting and embarrassing, but like thankfully all of the dental hygienists and stuff were suffering and sweating too. Some of you are probably cringing that, you know, oh my gosh, you had someone work in your mouth with all that sweat. Like, whatever. It was the dentist, it was fine. But I was sweating my tuchus off. And my foundation looked just as flawless when I stepped out of there as it did when I stepped in. This stuff is incredible. It's so good, and this will not break the bank. Like, this is only $27. Like, yeah, more expensive than drugstore, but I mean, compared to like that Charlotte Tilbury one, that one was what, like $47 or something? This is like half the price, and it's sweat proof. Fantastic. It's a much thinner consistency than the Charlotte Tilbury one, so you put it on, and I'm sorry, I know I don't have like an application to put in because I mean I can only wear one foundation at a time. You can definitely watch my first impressions video if you want to see how this applies and everything on the skin. It's beautiful. Like, you put it on, just a little goes a long way, I will say that much. I did the mistake the first couple times I put it on where I put a little too much on, and it can look cakey on your face if you do that. It is such a beautiful, I would say medium coverage foundation. It does cover more than the Charlotte Tilbury one, but I don't think it's like a full coverage foundation. Maybe if you did build it up or something, but overall this foundation is beautiful. I mean, I liked it enough where I had to buy the full size. Sweat proof. Sweat proof. I will forewarn you though, I know quite a few people in that video where I tested this out said that this broke them out horribly. Thankfully, it didn't do anything to my skin. Like, I am a-okay, just so you know. For some people, it broke them out in a really bad way. So this might be my #1 foundation of all time, purely because it's sweat proof. Like, that's a really big freaking deal for me. So that is gonna do it for this month's best and worst of beauty. Hopefully you got some good product recommendations, maybe some stuff that you're gonna want to go and try out yourself, or maybe some stuff that you're gonna definitely want to avoid. Either way, if it was helpful and or enjoyable for you, please do go ahead and give me a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. As always, I just hope your year is going fantastically. I hope you guys are all doing well, and until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!